guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a homeschool book haul. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a book haul I recently did for some extra books for our next homeschool year. If you've seen my curriculum videos that I've done over the last several weeks, I shared different leveled readers and everything for each of my kids. I also shared some supplemental books that I bought to go along with our history and science curriculums. So I've already mentioned all of those books, but I have a few more books I wanted to share with you guys today that I did not mention in those videos. If you missed those videos, I will have them linked in the description box if you want to watch them and kind of see the other books that I've recommended already. Today's video is also a collab with my friend Julie from Mama to 5. Julie and I have really enjoyed getting to know each other over the last 5 years being online friends, and on her channel she talks about homeschooling. She also does different day in the life videos and food videos and different sit down videos. So definitely be sure to go over and check out Julie's video when you're done watching this and subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. If you're coming over from Julie's channel, hi, I'm Deanna. I'm also a Christian homeschooling mom. We currently have 4 children, but we're expecting our 5th here at the beginning of July. And so Julie and I have a lot in common. Here on my channel, I like to talk, of course, about homeschooling, different things about homemaking, and also about my faith in Christ. So different biblical encouragement for moms. So if that interests you, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel to see my future videos. I generally post once a week. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll share with you guys the books that I purchased for our new school year. All right, so the books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today are in 2 different categories. One is going to be read aloud books, and the other category are some books that I bought for my kids to give to them as a first day of school kind of gift. So I'm going to start with the books that I purchased to do as read alouds this year. So my first stack of books here are some of the Who Was books. Now, I said in a previous video that I had planned to get these from our local library, and I still do want to get some from our library, but I went to our local used bookstore and they had these books in the store and they were only $2.50 a piece, and I was like, that's a good price. So I went ahead and picked these up. This year we're going to be doing early American history, and so I got Who Was Thomas Jefferson, Who Was George Washington, Who Was Ben Franklin, and Who Was Abraham Lincoln. So that will kind of just be a good baseline for us to learn about some early presidents and people who were influential in forming our government. So, all right, and the other books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, I actually got from The Good and the Beautiful's recommended reading book list, and they have a ton of books all broken down by different grade levels that have all been read and reviewed by people who work for them. So I found that to be a really great resource for finding good quality books to read with my kids, that I know the content is going to be clean, and just that the literary merit of the book is going to be high. And so that's where I got the idea for most of these books here that I'm going to share with you guys. All right, so the first one is called Tom's Midnight Garden, and this one's by Philippa Pierce. The next book is called Bound for Oregon. The next book is called A Misfortune. This is by Elizabeth Yates. This is supposed to be a really good one, so I'm excited to read this one with the kids. The next book is called Carry On, Mr. Bowditch, and I saw it recommended not only by The Good and the Beautiful, but I also think Sunlight and another curriculum company I looked at also recommended this book. So I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. This book, I had so many friends in the homeschool community here on YouTube recommending and raving about this book. So I went ahead and I actually found this at my local used bookstore, and it's called The Wild Robot, and then the sequel is called The Wild Robot Escapes. So for now, I just have the first one, The Wild Robot. It's by Peter Brown. So I'm really excited to read this one with the kids. My daughter's already skimming through it, and I'm like, no skimming, no reading ahead. Let's enjoy it together. So we're all excited to read this one this year. The next one is called Tulliver's Secret. And then the last one is a shorter book. It's called The Trail of Tears. So again, we're going to be studying early American history this year. And so a lot of the books that I picked out, even though they are fiction books or historical fiction books, they kind of fit in with that time period. So I think that those will be really not only interesting to read and fun, but also kind of fit in with the historical time period that we're going to be covering this year in history. Okay, then the next group of books I'm going to share with you guys are the books I picked up for each of my school-aged kids that I'm going to give to them on our first day back to school. So I'm going to start with my older daughter, and she has been reading through this series. It's called Abby Quest for Treasure. It's an older series. I'm not sure that you can find it like on Amazon or anything. I actually picked these up on Thrift Books. And so I think there's 8 or 9 books in the series, and I think she has maybe 3. So I went ahead and I was able to find 3 more of these books in the series. The first one here is called Abby Secret at Cutter Grove, Abby Trouble in Tahini, and Abby Maui Mystery. So these are the 3 books that she's going to get, and she's really an avid reader, so that's why I went ahead and got her 3 books. These next 2 books are for my son. He's 8 years old. The first one is Ranger in Time. This is a really great series I've mentioned before. This one's called Night of the Soldiers and Spies. And I think this is actually going to fit really well, yeah, with our history as well, because it's set in 1776. And so, yeah, this will be perfect for this year. And then this one is called Terror in the Tunnel. And this is an imagination station book. And I'm trying to see, it mentions President Lincoln. So this is actually going to fit with our time period as well this year. I didn't really do that on purpose. I just thought that these books would be interesting for him. He likes anything with mystery or spies or battles and things like that. So he's all boy. So I think he's really going to enjoy reading these books this year. So that's what I got for him. Last, I have my daughter who's going to be in 1st grade this year. She's currently 6 years old. And the first one I got for her is Shannon Hale's The Princess in Black. I've heard that this is a cute series. We have not read any of them before, but they're just really simple little chapters, lots of great little illustrations still, and I just think it sounds really fun, like a girl superhero. So I'm interested to see if she enjoys this series. I know there's, I think 6 or 7 books in this series right now. And then the second one I got for her is not actually a reading book, but it's an activity book. She loves these highlights, hidden picture books, and we have like a really thin like magazine of them, but this one is a huge entire book full of these hidden pictures, and so she's gonna be super excited about this. This is something that she enjoys doing during rest time and things like that as well, and it'll also be a nice thing for her to pull out. If I'm working with the other kids, then she can pull this out and have something to do while she's waiting for me to come help her. So that is another one that I got for my 6-year-old. So those are all the tangible books that I purchased for our new school year, but I also wanted to mention some audiobooks that I'm hoping we can listen to this year as well. I've mentioned several times before how much we really enjoy the Hoopla app, and so if your library partners with Hoopla to offer you free audiobooks, then definitely check that out and take advantage of that service because it's free. And so we get 16 borrows every month, and that includes not only audiobooks but also digital books, CDs, as well as some TV shows. And so there's so many different options available on this Hoopla app. But I went ahead and I put down some books that I would like us to listen to this year on audiobook on Hoopla. And I'm just gonna pop up the cover of the book here so you can kind of see what it looks like and just let you know what those books are, and maybe you want to check them out for your family as well. The first one is actually a series of books. It's called Trailblazers. The Trailblazer series focuses on significant people in Christian history as well as different missionary stories. And so there are so many great people mentioned in this Trailblazer series. So that is definitely one that I want to go through and try to listen to several of those this school year. The second one is also a series. It's called Heroes of History. And as I was looking through the series, I saw that they feature William Penn, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Thomas Edison. So I thought those would be really excellent to tie into the historical time period that we're going to be learning about this year. So I went ahead and wrote those down. The next one is also a series. It's called Christian Heroes Then and Now. We've listened to several of the books in this series as well. Again, it features a lot of different Christian missionary stories. It's a really excellent series, so I'd like to listen to a few more of those this year. The next one are 2 Classic Starts books. If you're not familiar with the Classic Starts series, what they do is they essentially take a classic piece of literature and they make it kid appropriate. So sometimes they edit things a little bit here and there just to make it more kid friendly. And so 2 of the Classic Starts books that I was hoping we could listen to this year are Huckleberry Finn and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. The next book is called The 100 Dresses. I've had this one on the list for a long time and I'm hoping we can finally get to it. The next book is called Miracles on Maple Hill. The next book is called Seaman, and it's a story about a dog that traveled with Lewis and Clark. And so it's technically historical fiction. I think that'll be really interesting for the kids. They love animals, so we're gonna try to do that one this year. All right, the next one, we actually already started this book because we just couldn't wait, and it's called By the Great Horn Spoon, and it's about the California Gold Rush. We've enjoyed it so far. The next book I'm hoping to listen to is one about Harriet Tubman. And the last one from Hoopla that we have on a list is one called Bridie of the Grand Canyon. So that is all the Hoopla audiobooks that I have written down on my phone that I'm hoping we can get through this year. Of course, that's a very ambitious list of books, but generally we like to listen to audiobooks at the lunch table together. And as I mentioned earlier, I am expecting a baby at the beginning of July, so I'm kind of wanting to have some extra audiobooks on hand. And so, you know, if I need to say, okay, let's all sit down and listen to an audiobook while mommy nurses the baby, or while I go change a diaper, or go, you know, tuck the baby in for a nap, or whatever it is, I can have some extra audiobooks in my arsenal that I can put on for the kids if we need a book to listen to. So those are some of the audiobooks that I'm excited to listen to this year as well. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of the books that we're going to be reading together this year. I will try to link everything I can in the description box below if you want to check it out for your own family. Be sure to check out Julie's video. I'm excited to see what kind of books she ordered for this school year. Thanks as always for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.